The first time I heard about the Halcyon Grand, it was from a rideshare driver who refused to drop me at the front entrance. He slowed down 2 blocks away, pointed down the street and said, "You can walk from here." I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He waited until I got out, then drove off immediately. No goodbye. No explanation. The Halcyon Grand wasn't hidden. That was the strange part. It sat on a busy street, wedged between a bank and a restaurant, its lights on, its sign polished, its doors open like any other hotel in the city. People walked past it without looking. That's what I noticed first. No one stopped, no one checked in, no one came out. But the lights were always on. Inside, the lobby was quiet but not empty. There were people there, just not moving much. A woman sat in one of the armchairs, flipping the same page of a magazine over and over again. A man stood near the elevator, staring at the floor indicator like he was waiting for something that wasn't coming. No one acknowledged me, except the receptionist. He greeted me like I was expected. Not warmly, just accurately. "Checking in," he said, already reaching for a key. I hadn't said anything yet. The registration form was already filled out. My name, my phone number, even my email. All correct. I asked how he got it. He didn't answer, just slid the pen toward me. Sign at the bottom. I should have left then. I didn't. My room was on the 4th floor, room 412. The elevator ride was short, but it felt longer. Not in a dramatic way, just slightly off, like it stopped once without opening. The hallway was normal, carpet, lighting, doors in order. That's what made it worse. Everything made sense. The room was clean, used, lived in. There was a suitcase by the bed, not mine. I went back downstairs immediately. The receptionist was still there. Same posture, same expression. I told him someone else was in my room. He shook his head. "No," he said, "that room is assigned to you." I insisted. He didn't argue. He just said, "Then they're late." Late for what? For checking out. That answer stayed with me longer than it should have. I went back upstairs. The suitcase was gone. The room looked untouched again. That night I couldn't sleep. Not because I was scared, because the hotel was too quiet. Not silent, just controlled. Like every sound had been reduced to exactly what was necessary. Around 2:30 I heard the elevator. It opened, closed, opened again, but no footsteps followed. I opened my door. The hallway was empty. The elevator doors were open. Inside, the floor panel had more buttons than it should have. Basement levels that weren't listed in the lobby, and one floor that had no number, just a blank button. I pressed it. The elevator moved. Down, longer than 4 floors. When it opened, the hallway looked like the one above. Same carpet, same lights. But the doors had no numbers. One of them was slightly open. Inside, there was a man sitting on the edge of the bed. Still, quiet, like he'd been there a long time. He looked at me and said, "What room did they give you?" 412. He nodded slowly, then said, "That used to be mine." I asked what he meant. He didn't answer directly, just said, "When someone checks in, someone else gets reassigned." "To where?" He looked past me, toward the hallway. "Further down." I went back upstairs after that. I didn't sleep. I didn't unpack. I just waited for morning. At 7 o'clock, there was a knock on my door. 2 people were standing outside, hotel staff. Polite, calm. "Check out," one of them said. I didn't ask to check out. They didn't react, just stepped aside slightly. The hallway behind them looked longer than it had the night before. Not dramatically, just extended. I looked back into my room. Everything was exactly how I found it. Except for one thing. There was a suitcase by the bed again. This time it was mine.